Good afternoon, everyone. This is your professor, Mr. Brian Asibuche, for Management Information System. So we are about to discuss our lesson 1, which is an introduction to Management and Information System. To start with, I will just I would like to give you reminders about the following. First, as we study our lesson 1 today, do not forget to write down the important details about our discussions. So it will be your study notebook. And then your study notebook must be sent on our Google Classroom. So you have to write it down on your notebook and then take a picture of it and then send it to our Google Classroom. You will see on the classwork for week 1 and 2, you will see the study notebook number 1. So just click study notebook number 1 and then you will see a private comment on the bottom of the web page, and then add your pictures of your study notebook on that comment section and then send. And do not forget to click turn in dun po sa taas na part po ng Google Classroom, so that I will be notified that you have submitted your study notebook. So ang study notebook due is today at until 11:59 p.m. So that will be submitted until today. Now, if you have submitted this after 11:59 onwards, you can still add your study notebook, but it will be notified or labeled as late. Okay? And then at the end of this session, we will be having our activity or performance task number 1. So you will just answer questions regarding the topic and then add it on the comment section. Okay? And then next meeting, we will be having our first online quiz. And that will be regarding the topics to be discussed today. Okay, so our game plan for today is Introduction to MIS, which covers the topic on history of the information system, multitasking, types of computers, and an introduction to computer architecture. So let's start with defining meaning of information systems. So what is an information system? So it is an organized combination of people, hardware, software, communications networks, and data resources that collects, transforms, and disseminates information in organization. So according to Britannica, information system is an integrated set of components for collecting, storing, and processing data, and for providing information, knowledge, and digital products. So let's see the historical background of information system. Okay, so in year 1970s, so the main activities in information system are the following. Okay, mainframe computers were used. So itong mga big computers that time ay nayu-utilize na. So computers and data were centralized and systems were tied to a few business functions such as payroll, inventory, and billing. And the required skills are programming, specifically in COBOL. So what is COBOL? So COBOL stands for Common Business Oriented Language. So this language is imperative, procedural, and object-oriented. A compiler is a computer program that takes other computer program written in a high-level source or high-level language and converts them into another program or machine code which the computer can understand. Now, in 1980s, the main activities are PCs or personal computers and the local area networks are installed. So, if you are familiar with LAN or local area network, it means the computer and another computer and another computers, or let's say more than two computers, are interconnected with each other. And typically, nakikita natin ito sa mga computer shop. So, yung tawag po din ay local area network. And those local area networks are installed in the businesses, in the offices, and maybe in the schools and other buildings. Okay, so a department set up own computer systems, and the end user computers or computing with word processors and spreadsheets makes departments less dependent on the IT department. So the skills required are PC support. So when you say PC support, those means uh, the persons are enabled to use word processors and spreadsheets and able uh, to fix if there will be technical problems with that, and basic networking. So when we say basic networking, it is not the 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 idea of buy and sell. Okay, so basic networking, it is a computer context. A network connects computers or mobile phones, peripherals, and even Internet of Things devices. Switches, routers, and wireless access points are the essential networking basics. The ability to use and utilize the switches and the routers or those devices that is related to wireless access points or wide area networks. Through them, devices connected to your network can communicate with one another and with other networks like the internet. In 1990s, the main activities in information system are wide area networks become corporate standards. If you are if, When we say wide area network, it this di ba pag sinabi nating LAN, these are computer and computer and another computer interconnected with each other. When we say wide area network, these are local area networks interconnected regardless of the geographical location. Okay, what else? Senior management looks for system integration and data integration. No more standalone systems. And the skills required during this time are network support, again, and system integration and database administration. So, what is system integration? When we say system integration, this is the process of creating a complex information system that may include designing or building a customized architecture of app or application or integrating it with new or existing hardware, package, and custom software and communications. Another skill required is the database administration. So it refers to the whole set of activities performed by a database administrator to ensure that a database is always available as needed. Now in 2000, in the year 2000s, the main activities in information system are wide area network expands via the internet to include global enterprises and business partners, supply chain and distribution. And also, senior management looks for data sharing across system. And for that to be accomplished, skills required are network support and systems integration. Now, of course, in terms of information system, we will always be able to hear the word multitasking. So what is multitasking? In terms of computer, multitasking is the running of two or more programs or two or more sets of instructions in one computer at the same time. So multitasking is used to keep all of a computer's resources at work as much of the time as possible. Well, multitasking may refer to any of the following. It can be computer multitasking, media multitasking, and human multitasking. So when we say computer multitasking, it is the apparent simultaneous performance of two or more tasks by a computer's central processing unit. So the computer is able to perform two or more programs or tasks or sets of instructions. How about media multitasking? So media multitasking could involve using a computer or MP3 or any other form of media in conjunction with one another. When we say naman human multitasking, it is the ability of a person to perform more than one task at the same time. Now, we talk about the performance of the computer. What is computer actually? For you, what is computer? You can define or or share your thoughts about the definition of computer in our chat box. I will wait for your answer. Okay? Now, when we say computer, it is an electronic device that is designed to work with information. So talagang dinisenyo sa computer to process to process and create valuable information. Now, the term computer is derived from the Latin term computer, C-O-M-P-U-T-A-R-E, or computer, which means to calculate or programmable machine. Okay? Computer cannot do anything without a program. So parang, let's say for example, you have your computer. Without its program, the computer is just a machine. It's like a device that has no purpose. Okay? So it represents the decimal number through a string of binary digits. The word computer usually refers to the central processor unit plus the internal memory. Now, who is the father of computer? Anyone? You can write your answers on the chat box. Okay, so the father of computer is no other than Charles Babbage. Again, Charles Babbage. Charles as in Charles and Babbage Babbage. The first mechanical computer designed by Charles Babbage was called Analytical Engine. It read it actually uses read-only memory in the form of punch cards. So computers are an advanced electronic device that takes raw data as input from user and processes this data under the control of set of instructions or what we call the programs and gives the result, which is the output, and saves the output for the future use. So it can process both numerical and non-numerical or the arithmetic and logical calculations. For sure, for sure you have the idea on the different types of computers. Maybe you are able to see different types of computers. Now let's classify the computers into three major types. First, we have the analog computers. So analog computers, these are different from a digital computer because an analog computer can perform several mathematical operations simultaneously. It uses continuous variables for mathematical operations and utilizes mechanical or electrical energy. So this is an example of an analog computer. So this is Heathkit. Okay, Heathkit known for its construction kits, and it was developed an analog computer in 1956 that was primarily designed for education. So this monster actually has 70 tubes, whereas 45 were placed external due to better cooling. It is equipped with 15 computing amplifiers. Now, we have the hybrid computers. So when we say hybrid, we have these computers are combinations of both digital and analog. Again, by the way, when we say digital computers, of course, uh, those are the computers that we are actually seeing in the computer shops in our homes. Okay, so these hybrid computers are a combination of the two, the digital and the analog computers. Wherein in this type of computers, the digital segments perform process control by conversion of analog signals to digital ones. So what is an example? So this is an example of a hybrid computer. So HBNB hybrid computer. So when referring to a portable or home user computer, a hybrid computer describes a computer that is more than just a traditional laptop or desktop. Now, we have another different types of computers. We have the so-called mainframe computers. Narinig natin kaganina. So let's define what is mainframe computers. Most of the mainframe computers have the capacities to host multiple operating systems and operate as a number of virtual machines and can thus substitute for several small servers. So it's like a big computer where it has multiple operating system and multiple virtual machines. It's like a big computer that can perform as a 50 computers or more. So this is an example of a mainframe computer. So at their core, mainframes are high performance computers which with large amounts of memory and processors that process billions of simple calculations and transactions in real time. The mainframe is critical to commercial databases, transaction servers, and applications that require high resiliency, security, and agility. We also have microcomputer. So kung kanina supercomputers, mainframe computers rather, kung kanina, we also have the microcomputers. From the word micro, that means kabaligtaran naman ng isa. Excuse me. So microcomputers are computers with microprocessor and its central processing unit is known as microcomputer. So these computers can fit on desk or tables and serve as the best choices for single user task. Maybe you can have watched the traditional films or maybe classic films wherein computers during that time are look like this. Diba? So actually, desktop computers, laptops, personal digital assistants, and tablets and smartphones are all types of microcomputers. So the microcomputers are widely used and the fastest growing computers. These computers are the cheapest among the other three types of computers. The microcomputers are specially designed for general usage like entertainment, education, and work purposes. Well-known manufacturers of microcomputers are, of course, Dell, Apple, Samsung, Sony, and Toshiba. Now, desktop computers, gaming consoles, sound and navigation system of a car, netbooks or notebooks, or personal digital assistants, tablet PCs, smartphones, and calculators are all types of microcomputers. We also have now from the microcomputers, let us uh, let us define those types of microcomputers. So, of course, desktop. Familiar naman kayo dyan. A desktop is intended to be used on a single location, and desktop are widely popular for daily use in the workplaces and households. So, yan yung kadalasan natin nakikita sa mga computer shops and even businesses and offices. Now, we have laptops. The difference between laptops and desktop, of course, the portability. The, uh, desktop is really hard to bring it on your office, diba? Because it has several devices connected to it. Now laptop are good when it comes to portability. Similar in operations to desktop. Laptop computers are miniaturized and optimized for mobile use. Laptops run on a single battery or an external adapter that charges the computer batteries. We also have personal digital assistants or PDAs. It is a handheld computer. From the word handheld, that means nahahawakan. Madalas nating hinahawakan. Or it is a computer that can be grasped by your bare hands, and popularly known as a palm top. It has a touch screen and a memory card for storage of data. So your smartphones are good examples of personal digital assistants. And also this one, look at this. We also have mini computers. So in terms of size and processing capacity, mini computers line in between mainframes and microcomputers. Mini computers are also called the mid-range systems or the workstations. And example of these are the following. As you can see it on the screen, we have the UMD Kingston or mini computer or mini notebook, or maybe we can call it the packet PC. Now, we also have supercomputers. So the highly calculation intensive tasks can be effectively performed by means of supercomputers. So ano bang pinagagamitan nito? Quantum physics, mechanics, and weather forecasting, also molecular theory are best studied by means of supercomputers. Now you can see the supercomputers are used in many areas of science and engineering research. Now, HPC can simulate nuclear explosions, evolution of galaxies, effects of pacemaker redesign, genetics, and even genetic related diseases, medical drug discovery, aircraft flight, and also aerodynamics, and so on and so forth. We also have wearable computers. So from the word wearable, that means nasosuot. Okay, so a record-setting step in the evolution of computers was the creation of wearable computers. These computers can be worn on the body and are often used in the study of behavior modeling and human health. So for sure, maybe some of you are using wearable computers like this. Di ba yung mga ibang mga wearable computers nowadays are able to measure the sugar, the blood temperature, and other health related things. Ayan, we have the SiPad wrist wearable computer. These are a wearable computer or a body worn or in clothing integrated IT device that offers hands-free operation through speech control. Now let us have an introduction to computer architecture. So this will be the as last slide for lesson 1. So introduction to computer architecture. We have the ideas on the different types of computers, the multitasking, and the history of information system. Now let's see the computer architecture through this video presentation. Okay, so thank you for watching the video on computer architecture. Now, every computer has to follow a computer architecture. And one of the most popular computer architecture is the what we call the von Neumann architecture. Okay, so from what we have seen in the video, so dinefine naman niya isa-isa paano ito nagwo-work. And even the terminology such as the input devices and the output devices, the memory, and so on and so forth has been defined in the video. Now, let me just give you a short glance or a preview on the von Neumann architecture. So, in computer manufacturing, computer engineering is a set of rules and methods that describe the functionality or the organization and utilization of computer systems. Some definitions of engineering define it as a describing the wherewithals and programming model of a computer, but not a particular utilization. In other definitions, computer architecture proves instruction set architecture designs, microarchitecture design, logic design, and utilization. Now, I want the class to define those terms again, or give your understanding on what are the input devices, the output devices, the memories, the central processing unit, and the control unit. Okay. Again, when we say central processing unit, normally we see we know this as CPU, 'di ba? And typically may mga pagkakamali tayo actually pag sinabing CPU, akala natin is the CPU is the entire box na katabi halos ng monitor. Actually, no. When we say CPU, nasa loob po yun, makikita po natin yung maliit na chip na nandoon. It's like a heart. It's like the heart of the computer. Okay? I mean, the brain, rather, not the heart. The brain of the computer. So, everything is being processed on that chip. Kaya nga siya tinawag na central processing unit. And that box that you are actually seeing together with the monitor, ang tawag po dun sa buong box na yon, included po yung buong peripherals or devices inside that, ang tawag po dun ay system unit. Okay? And when we join the system unit together with the monitor and other peripheral devices, that is a computer system unit or a buong computer set, 'di ba? Okay, so how about input devices? Input devices are the devices that allows the users to input data. So what are those? This microphone is actually an input devices. The data is presented in a form of voice. We also have the video, or no, the camera rather. The camera is an input devices because uh, it captures sets of images, 'di ba? To create the moving pictures or the video. And also the keyboards, your stylus using sa yung inyong mga smartphones before, 'di ba, may stylus. We also have the touchpad and what else? Yung inyong mga touchscreen are also input devices. And the output devices, we have the monitor, the projector, what else? Mm, the screen in your laptops, in your desktop computers, those are output devices. Printers are also considered as output devices. How about scanners? What is a scanner? Is it an input device or an output device? You can comment that on your chat box. Okay, so the scanner is an input device. Once printed, the printer is an output device. Okay? So those are just some of the things regarding the computer architecture. Again, without computer architecture, hindi alam ni computer ang kanyang flow. Okay? So, napakahalaga ng computer architecture. So, without the system unit and the programs and the instructions set in the computers, hindi alam ni computer ang kanyang gagawin. Diba? And with the computer architecture, the computer is enabled to understand its flow, paano siya kikilos at paano siya gagawa. Now, that's all for our first lesson for today. Okay, so if you have questions regarding the lesson, please comment down on the comment section or on the chat box, or you can send it directly to our messenger group, and your professor is more than willing to answer and give you valuable answers on that. Now, if you have other concerns regarding the lesson, you can send me your queries on my email or even on our group chat, so that those concerns will be given the right answers. Okay? And again, this is your Sir Brian Acebuche, your professor for Management Information System. I will see you on the next video for our lesson 2. Goodbye and God bless everyone.